3,500 years ago, long before the world had maps or borders, when kings were worshipped as gods, and every battle was a message to the heavens. One war was written down so carefully that it became the first chapter of recorded history. The sun rises over the golden sands of Egypt. The Nile glimmers like a ribbon of life cutting through the endless desert. In the distance, the war drums echo across the dunes. Pharaoh Thutmose III stands atop his chariot, his armor catching the morning light. Beneath him, thousands of soldiers bow, awaiting his command. This is no ordinary campaign. It is destiny written in bronze and blood. In the year 1457 BC, the Canaanite city-states of the north dared to rebel against Egypt's power. They joined forces under the king of Kadesh, a ruler who believed the great Pharaoh's grip could be broken. Across the desert, word reached Thebes. The young Pharaoh Thutmose III, brilliant, fearless, and hungry for glory, answered with fury. He gathered his generals and prepared his army. Scribes recorded every movement, every rations count, every omen. Then, under the burning sun, 20,000 men began to march northward. The desert winds carried the scent of dust, sweat, and iron, the scent of war. For days they marched through scorching heat, following the trail of the gods themselves. Their destination, a fortress that stood like a gateway between worlds, Megiddo. As the Egyptian army approached, scouts brought a grim choice to the pharaoh. There were 3 roads to Megiddo, the wide and safe, and one narrow, twisting, and deadly, the Runa Pass. His generals begged him to take the safer route. "Your Majesty," they warned, "if the enemy waits within that pass, we will be slaughtered." But Thutmose smiled. He saw not danger, but opportunity. "We shall take the narrow path," he declared, "for they will never believe a god would walk where men fear to tread." And so the army turned toward the canyon. As dawn broke, the Egyptians emerged from the mist, silent, unstoppable. The enemy, caught off guard, never saw them coming. The gamble had worked. The plains of Megiddo stretched wide under the morning sun. The Canaanite alliance, still forming its lines, suddenly saw the horizon shimmer with the reflection of bronze. Then came the sound, a thunder of hooves, a scream of iron. The pharaoh's chariots burst forth from the hills like lightning. The enemy lines crumbled. Soldiers fled, abandoning their banners, their allies, their kings. Arrows rained down, and the cries of men echoed across the valley. By midday, the battlefield was chaos. The coalition's armies were shattered, retreating behind the thick walls of Megiddo. As the sun set, its red light fell upon thousands of fallen warriors and the victorious pharaoh, his armor glinting like the very sun god he claimed to descend from. But the war was not yet over. The survivors locked themselves behind the towering gates of Megiddo. From the sands below, Thutmose's legions encircled the city like an iron serpent. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The Egyptians built walls around the walls, cutting off all escape. Food ran out. Silence filled the fortress. Hunger and despair became the only enemies left inside. After 7 long months, the gates of Megiddo finally opened. The defeated kings fell to their knees before Thutmose III, offering gold, silver, and chariots in surrender. Egypt had triumphed. The rebellion was crushed, and a new age of empire had begun. In the temples of Karnak, royal scribes carved every detail of the campaign into the stone walls. The number of troops, the route taken, even the spoils of war. Each line, each symbol, immortalized the pharaoh's triumph. The Battle of Megiddo was more than just a victory. It was the birth of military history itself, the first war the human race ever wrote down. Its echoes would carry through the centuries, inspiring generals, kings, and conquerors to come. From Thutmose III to Alexander, from Caesar to Napoleon, all would walk the same path that began at Megiddo. And as the winds sweep across the ancient ruins today, they still whisper the same truth that history learned on that battlefield. Empires rise from courage, but they are remembered through the words carved in stone.